Hey guys, my name is TheRussianBadger, and just to give you a quick background on this specific match, it was requested by Plox Narb Lolcake. I don't know what that means. And Legendary 588. They both requested that I use the AAK 971. Now, Legendary 588, he recommended that I use the AAK 971 with a red dot sight and the MP443 Grok, or Grotch rather. I believe it's Grotch. I was corrected recently. But I actually strayed away from the garage. I don't know what happened. Ich wurde bestohlen. I was robbed, and somebody just robbed the MP443 from me and just accidentally gave me back a 1911-45. So I apologize for getting robbed and not using the MP443, but this is it's fairly close to what they requested. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with this. So first of all, Harvest Day is a wonderful map, as you very well know, and a lot of people like it more than Oasis because of the lack of helicopters, obviously, because I've heard a lot of complaining, especially on the defending side, that there's too much of the game that is ruined by helicopters because it's just instant death as soon as you spawn in certain instances on Oasis. So it seems like a lot of people like Harvest Day compared to the others, and for some reason here, I have no idea how this catfish survived. It's like, why did I get the assist there? That's kind of frustrating. And the other attachment that Plox Narb Lolcake and Legendary 588 requested is either a 40mm shotgun or a smoke grenade setup. And I definitely went with the smoke grenades, and just a few seconds ago there, I thought I had regular 40mm grenades, but I guess I didn't. So I set it here. I'm going to go ahead and climb up here, and it was originally my plan just to toss grenades through the window, and that's basically the most effective method. And you can also get anybody that tries to enter through the barn here, and that's eventually what ends up happening. And here I'm playing with Sonic Chaos 007, who's a regular that I usually play alongside, and he's extremely skilled, and I believe he's using some kind of sniper rifle setup. But I'm also playing with two more guys that I had not played with prior, and that's Mr. Icy and Speed 23, and I was surprised at how aggressive they were. You know, oftentimes I'm usually the first gentleman to the objective. I'm the first one to arm it, but there were some instances where I would go around to flank, and they would be to the objective at least 30 seconds before I would, and I was surprised at their aggressiveness and their speed. And right here, I was just using my noggin, and I knew there was a tank there, so I got on the AT, and for some reason, as soon as I hopped in that AT, it just wouldn't let me fire for the longest time. I don't know what was happening there. But we finally get this all cleaned up, and then we've got quite the asinine moment coming up here. Okay. So, of course, before I like to move up to the next set of objectives, I just keep my eyes peeled for spawn campers. And then I also like to equip, if we have an engineer or a medic, or even a recon in our squad, I usually like to give ammo. So definitely give Mr. Icy some ammo there. And then I'm going to move over here, and I see that tank icon, that enemy tank icon ahead of me. And I think, how am I going to take this catfish out? And I think, why not get in the tank? But then I think there's anti-tank mines there, but I think Speed took care of that because I believe he accidentally rolled over that with an ATV. So thank you for accidentally doing that and saving my life, because I really didn't notice that before he exploded into a million pieces. And that's a common tactic that I've been seeing lately for some reason. There's always anti-tank mine just sitting in front of tanks, and I had not seen that really frequently prior to these new maps coming up. Maybe I just haven't been playing enough, and I get on the tank here. I'm going to get him once, and then I'm going to go around, and you're going to see MEX in a lot of their clan tags. I'm not sure if they were a clan or if they're just all from Mexico or some other country of origin, but they seem to be in some kind of organization. And I finally get that guy just before my tank explodes, and it had already taken prior damage from those anti-tank mines. So we move on to the next set of objectives. I'm a bit of a catfish for using this much smoke, but I spam smoke, and it's just so enjoyable. I mean, it could be worse where I'm using that twice the amount of grenades upgrade, and then you spam smoke like that. That is even worse. I mean, I really don't consider smoke as a cheap tactic or a catfish tactic, but I definitely think that it can be very effective in many different dynamics of the game. I don't know why that guy didn't look around. I mean, there are so many instances, just like what that guy experienced just there. There are experiences when you're running from cover into this open environment around an objective, and I just get that that spidey sense just tingles. It's like, I know I'm going to get shot in the face in a few seconds here. And of course he experienced that. And then I try the old trickster trick here, and I try to bounce it off the door frame, but I guess it doesn't work. And then we're all trying to share one ladder, and we have to really emphasize the rule of one at a time. And I believe we get a set here, and then we try to hold them back. They spawn back near those bales of hay, I believe even farther back from there, and I cheat death there. I have no idea how I didn't die. I was expecting to die. And I was actually surprised at the range of the AK-971, because you guys know it's very similar to the M16, not in terms of rate of, well, sort of in terms of rate of fire, but you know the 3-round burst versus the automatic. But they have the same damage, and they also have, excuse me, I'm got the burps. They're burpy burps. Derp to derp. Alright, so, and I get a nice little double kill there. They have that same damage over all ranges, so if I hit you, if I shoot a catfish in the face from 2 feet away, it's going to do the same damage to him as if I shoot him 1,000 feet away. If I can actually hit him at that distance. So that's something very, very valuable, and I believe the F2000 is the other assault rifle that shares that trait, and if I might say so myself, I am loving the F2000 lately, but since you guys requested the AK-971, I just said your wish is my command, right? And so I get this guy with a knife, which I would not advise, and I believe he just thought I was on his team for some reason, but he didn't notice me. And then I get these two. What are you doing, Hippie 402? Why don't you just change your gamer tag to Fiddler on the Roof? Well, that's not really. I don't want to go too literal about that, but. And I know it seems odd that I'm not rushing towards the objective right now, but I noticed that the rest of my squad was so aggressive that it was really necessary that I always stayed alive. And it seemed like Speed and Mr. Icy were doing the majority of the MCOM or crate planting, if you will. And then I would usually provide them with a lot of smoke. And then here, I was at the back of the stairs because I had that, you know, that catfish spidey sense that I knew somebody was coming up the stairs. But I guess not. And I spam it with more smoke, and that was totally necessary because the engineers in our squad were slightly lacking. But you can definitely tell if you look. I mean, I think it's more so later on, but you can even look at it right now, and we already have quite the presence in the enemy spawn. And as you can see, I mean, my teammates or my squad mates are constantly dying as they're going towards the objective, so it's really important that I stay alive. And here's a good moment. Okay, I get him here, and then I toss my random grenades. They're like Hail Marys, and Wesley snipes. Tax evasion. Just wonderful. And I notice I'm doing that even more now, and it's something that I've unconsciously always done. Like, if I'm running out of ammo for my main primary and I haven't killed the guy and I know he's gone behind cover, I just might throw a random frag grenade just to see if I can get some random spontaneous fragmentation exploding in your face kill, and it isn't always successful. And I get 2 guys before I get mowed down by a guy with a G3, and he's not using the ACOG. He's not being a catfish with an ACOG. But then I respawn, I instantly start shooting, I get 1, and then I'm going to get another guy that comes up the stairs. And as you can see, that they have the same clan tag of mechs. Well, the first one did. So I'm not sure if they are a clan or not, but they were certainly very organized. And I don't know if you guys previously saw the radar, but there were so many. Even look at it now. On the right flank, there are so many of my teammates and non-squad mates, if you want to call them that, or blueberries, or smurfs, whatever term you like to label them. And they're all getting forward in the enemy presence. And then I tried the left side. The right side seemed way too constricting because the enemy has such a height advantage on harvesting on the right side in the last set of objectives. So I said, why not act like a total Carl? Why don't I just sit right in the middle behind a big rock and shoot anybody that's on the hill? And it was quite successful for some reason. I mean, I do shoot a lot of people and only get pieces of them, and they usually get away. But then eventually, once they arm B, I take the territory. The territory. I don't know what territory is. It's like Terry that is owned by Tory. I don't know what that means. Neither do you. So once they set B, and I believe it was either Mr. Icy or Speed, and they were absolute champs when it came to arming objectives. But they set B, I'm going to move up, and I'm just going to clean up anybody and then find a good vantage point of B from one of these houses. One of these smaller houses always has a great view of B. I remember I would always do that in the original Bad Company because it was in a similar location. And what are you doing? I thought I had killed him with that, but I eventually do get him right in the Gluteus Maximus, and I get that last kill just before the game ends. But what are you doing over there? Why are you not over at B? I don't understand your logic and or reasoning. Ich verstehe nicht. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're over there when B is about to explode. But I hope you enjoyed this Harvest Day gameplay and or commentary. And until next time, I will see you later. Auf Wiedersehen und bis bald.